Welcome back. Now it's time to fix many bugs that we have. Whenever you create a big project, you will definitely have so many bugs, and you need to be very careful because otherwise your application could be vulnerable to many problems. So the first thing that we have here is that here, if you open up the place order.php, you'll find that I'm allowing users who are not logged in to place an order, and this is a problem because if user is not logged in, there should be there is no user ID, and if we try to place an order, we are gonna get an error. So this is the first problem that we have. Another problem is that here it's better to protect the execute. It's better to check the execute before proceeding and executing the code below. So this execute will always return true or false. If this returns true, it means that the SQL statement has been executed successfully. Else, if it returns false, it means that there is a problem. So it's better to add here if statement and check whether this return true or false. This is the second thing that we need to do. The third thing that we need to do is that if user is not logged in, they shouldn't be able to place an order. So let me fix all of these things. The first thing that I'm going to do is that here I'm going to add if statement. I'm going to say if, and then I'm going to say if execute is false, if false. By the way, you can do something else. You can say here stmt underscore status is equal to this, and then you can say if stmt underscore status is false, if exclamation mark, which means it's false. If it's false, we should use the header and then take the user to the index page or any page you want. You shouldn't continue. You should just take the user somewhere else, and you should exit. This is very important. You should exit, because if you don't exit, it's gonna continue executing the code below. And you can display an error message if you want, but the possibility of this being false is so slim because if we have these things and we already made sure that we have the email and the password and the email, the name of the email and the phone and the city, because the form in the place, let me show you that in the place order here, in the checkout page, the user will not be able to place an order without filling out this form. So we are 100% sure that the user will provide us with these things. The only problem is with the user ID. So we need to make sure that the user is logged in. Also, if the user is if the cart is empty, we already handled this. If the cart is not empty, if the cart is empty, then it's gonna take the user to the index page. So this is protected. Therefore, here in the place order, the only problem that we could have is the session being the session user ID being empty. So which means that the user is not logged in. So the only thing that we need to do is that we need to make sure that the user is logged in. Similarly here, if we have a problem, it's better to protect this, but again here we already know that the cart is not empty at this point, and at this point the product ID and the name and the image and the price and the quantity, all of them will never be empty because you have inserted these in the database. There's no way that these could be empty because here in the cart, if you check the cart, we fill the cart with these things. So it's like 99.9%. So it's 99.9% not gonna be empty. And this is not. I'm not saying this I'm saying this because we already protected these in other pages. So just adding so many if statements is also not a good practice. So you need to check your errors once before moving on. We have already done that already. Here, by the way, here in case user places an order successfully, we actually shouldn't keep the cart filled with products, and I'm going to work on this later. Let me now focus on making sure that the user will not be able to place an order unless they log in. And to do this, here in the place order.php, the first thing that we need to do is that we need to add if statement here, and then we need to say if not is set session logged in logged underscore in. Then if the user is not logged in, then we need to say header, and then we need to take the user to the checkout page, or any page you want. It doesn't have to be the checkout. You can take the user to the index or the checkout or even the account or even the login. So I'm gonna here say location first, location, and then I'm gonna say check first dot, because the place order is inside the server. So we need to go back one step back and then access the checkout. So we need to say here dot and then / checkout.php, and then the message. I'm going to say message, and the message is going to say please log in / register to place an order. And most importantly, you need to exit. This is very important. You need to exit. This is very, very important. So you have to exit. If you don't want to exit, then you can add else and then place all of this code inside this else here, like this. So all of this code can be pushed inside this else. So I think this is more meaningful now. You can say here if user is logged in, and here if user is not logged in, if user is not, this is a comment by the way, not logged in. And again, if you don't want to use the else, you need to say here exit, but exit here would be redundant because we have the else. Anyways, now in the checkout we need to display this message. So in the checkout, the first thing that we need to do is that we need to remove this checkout post checkout. The reason is because if you don't remove it and redirect the user from the place order to this page, it's always going to take the user to the index. So we need to remove this checkout from here. I'm going to remove it from here, and we just need to check if if the cart is not empty. And finally, we just need to display the error message. We need here to say, we need here above the form or here actually, here above the form or above this above the form or below this form. You can here say P and then PHP, and first you need to check. You need here to check if is set get and then message. Then at this point we need to echo the message. We need to say echo, and then echo what? Echo the get message. And here I'm gonna say class and then text center, and I'm gonna also say style color red, and you can display a link so that the user logs in. So you can here you can add another if statement. Here you can, by the way, you can close this. You can close this PHP, and then here you can display a button. Just here, display a button. Let me keep this. Let me keep this line as is because I don't want to confuse you. This is going to be complicated. Let me just keep this, and below I'm just going to create another check, another PHP with a if is set again, is set get message, then here curly bracket, and then close the curly bracket, PHP, close the curly bracket, and then you can here display the a tag with a link to login, and then here you can say login, and then you can again you can say class and then btn, and then you can even say btn primary, and the href at this point, the href is gonna be equal to login.php, and here we need to say like this, and that's it. Now let me go back and let me head on over to the cart and let me try to place an order. So I'm gonna here click on checkout, and if I click on place order, first of all I will not be able to place an order because I have to fill this. Let me fill this. So if I fill out this form and click on place order, as you can see here it's gonna say please log in, register to place an order. So this button is not gonna work unless the user logs in. And if I click on login, it's gonna take me to the login page. Now I will not be able to place an order unless I fill this and then and first log in actually. So this is very important. You need to not to allow users to place orders before they log in. You can even add this code to the cart. You can prevent users from coming to this page altogether before even clicking on the cart here, before clicking on this button checkout. So now let me test. Let me now log in first. Let me log in and try to place an order after I log in, because now if I try to place an order I will not be. So again, if I click on place order, it's not gonna work, so I first need to log in, and if I log in, let me log in and place an order. So if I click on login, now I will be able to log in, and if I go to the cart, let me go to the cart. I'm gonna here go to the cart, I'm gonna say cart, and now in the cart let me check out, and let me here fill out this form. Now if I click on place order, as you can see the order will be placed and I will be taken to the payment page. So it worked successfully, and I will only be able to log in to place an order if I am logged in. So this is a very important practice you need to have. Also, if you are logged in but the cart is empty, you will not be able to place an order. Let me show you this. So let me show you this. So here I'm logged in, right? If I remove this from the cart, so now the cart is empty, and if I click on checkout, I will not be able to. So this is very important. Now our system is protected. The user will have here in the checkout, we have here if the cart is empty, then if the cart is not empty, the user will be let in, else the user will be taken to the index. Also in the place order, before the user places an order, we need first to check whether they are logged in or not. And again, I need to emphasize on adding this code in the checkout is also possible. You can protect this, you can make the protection from here or even from the cart page. It's just the same goal. It's just the same goal, but a different method. So you can follow any method you want, but the goal is to protect placing an order page, because you shouldn't allow users to place orders without logging in and without having something in the cart.